from the UPS man. Hello, welcome to episode 13 of the Miss Strawberry Makes podcast. I'm Michelle. This is a crafty podcast about knitting, crocheting, sewing, and any other crafty shenanigans that I get up to. You can find me on Instagram as Miss Strawberry Short Girl, on Ravelry as Miss Michelle Bell. We have a Ravelry group for the podcast called the Strawberry Patch. It'd be great if you came and joined. And the show notes for this podcast will be on my blog, missstrawberrymakes.blogspot.com. Anyway, link for that in the box below this video on YouTube. Okay, yeah, so welcome. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time watching, I hope you enjoy it. If you're a returning viewer and a subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. It means so much. And I would like to just say welcome to all the new subscribers. Tina of Simply in Stitches recommended my podcast on hers, which was so sweet of her. Thank you, Tina. That was so sweet. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever floats your boat and are ready to settle down for a nice chat about what I have been making. I just want to say thank you too for the great feedback on the second Knit and Netter with Mima. It was so fun to make. I love getting to chat with her, and she really enjoyed it too, I think. So it's so nice to have such a nice reception to it from you all. So thanks so much, guys, for all your sweet comments. I read and cherished every one of them. So thanks. Hopefully we'll be able to make more of those in the future, Lord willing. So, why don't we go ahead and start with finished objects? The first one is what I'm wearing. Yeah, let me take a sip of tea real quick. Okay. Okay, it is, let's see if you can see this, Split Back Tank by Allison Griffith. And I use Knit Picks, Lindy Chain, in the color Whisper. This lovely purpley color. I will model it for you guys. I have this shirt on over it. Take it off so you can see it to its full advantage. Hopefully the chair is not blocking. It is finished. It is so comfortable. This is just my second time wearing it. So, yeah. It's very light and airy. Hopefully you can hear me way back there. The first time I wore it, I hadn't tumble dried it at all. I had just hand washed it and laid it out flat. Wait, no, I lied. I did dry it a little. I tumble dried it a little bit because it was like so long it was down to my knees. So I dried it a little bit, just a few minutes, and then I laid it out flat to dry, but it was just too long and big. So I did machine wash it in like a garment bag, and then I tumble dried it most of the way until it was just slightly damp, and then I got it out and laid it out flat, and it did tighten up the gauge like it was supposed to, because if you remember me saying this, that's what this pattern called for to do. It's knit in a really loose gauge, and then you machine wash and dry it, and it attains the correct gauge then, theoretically. So I haven't actually checked the gauge on this now. I just am going by how it feels and how it looks, and I really like how it's looking right now. So this was a really simple thing to make. It called, the size I made, I think I made the size for the finished bust measurement to be 36 inches. So it'd be a little loose and flowy still. Because normally I would make like a 34 inch bust. And this, that size called for 4 balls of the Knit Picks Lindy chain, and I think I used, I can't remember if I had to break into the 4th ball or if I only had to use 3. I think I might have had to just break into the 4th ball. So it was close. I mean, you could probably squeeze it out of 3 for the size I made. Definitely for the size smaller, I would say. But anyway, I don't know. So the Lindy chain is 70% linen and 30% Pima cotton, and it is just so comfy, and I think it'll just get nicer with wear, softer and all. So it's really comfy. I love this purple color. I've been really into purple lately. I used to not like purple at all, but I really love it lately, so I'm going with it. Maybe it's because my hair's gotten a little darker. I used to have really blonde hair, and now it's kind of like a dark blonde, light brown color. So maybe I feel like it goes better with my coloring now. I don't know, but I really like it. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything interesting to tell you about this knit. I don't think so. Yeah, so it was a really simple make, and it's a free pattern on Knit Picks, so if you're interested in it, go ahead and get it. Anything noteworthy, I probably wrote in the notes part of my Ravelry project page for this, so go check that out if you have any questions. I will check that off my list. Okay, let me take a sip of tea, and we will move on to the sherbet. I always say sherbet, but it's spelled sherbet, I think. Scallops, anyway. That cardigan there that I made. Let me show you. Quick drink of tea. Thank you. Let's see. This, if you remember, I just made up the pattern. It's just a simple raglan styled cardigan, and I made it out of, hang on, let me take this shirt off again. I made it out of that vintage wool yarn that I found at a thrift store. So, and I wanted it color blocked, but to break up the color block with scallops I thought would be really cute, so that's what I did. And I wanted it oversized and just comfy and bulky, and I think I have attained that. So I didn't do any buttons or anything. I crocheted a scallop instead of button bands to bring out the scallop detail again. And I really like how it turned out, and I like how these just kind of fold over like that. And it is so cozy and warm. Actually far too warm for June, so it will be a while before I can actually wear it. Probably not till October at the earliest. Maybe September if we have a cold September. I hope you can hear me. Yeah. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I thought another cute way to wear it would be if I folded it over like this and did like a shawl pin right there. Maybe. Maybe not. There's a mirror there. That's why I'm looking over there. Yeah. I like it. It's so cozy, and it's like boyfriend sweater length, and it's just so big, and I love it. It's going to come in so handy in the colder weather. Hang that there. So, yeah. Kind of made up the pattern. I wrote down what I did as I was doing it, so maybe at some point I'll actually write up the pattern of what I did. So, if y'all are interested in making that too, I don't know. So, I think that's all I have to say about that. I actually almost forgot to include it in this episode. It was hanging in my closet. I was like, oh, I don't think I ever showed that as a finished object on an episode, because I was waiting on the front bands for a while. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that, so but I decided on the crocheted scallops, and I'm really happy with how that looks. I like the mix of knit and crochet together, you know, kind of combining the two. I like that anytime I can combine a couple crafts into one thing, whether it's like embroidery on something, or, you know, a little knitted or crocheted edge on something. So I just enjoy that. Okay, so my third finished object, I've got quite a few finished objects today. It has been a little while since I did one of these. It is my spring shawl by Frederica of Frederica Creates. And she's the gal that I do test knit or crochet test pattern testing for. I've got the next thing to show you is that. So here is this lovely pattern. Which she had for sale on Etsy, but I don't think it's listed anymore. I'm not sure if she's going to list it again, but here is my spring shawl. I love it. It's so pretty. Let's see which end is up. Sorry, I'm whispering to myself about which way it goes. This is the first shawl I've ever made for myself. So, the jury's out whether I'll actually end up wearing it in public. I don't know. There's just something so elegant about a shawl, though, isn't there? They're just so pretty. They're just nice to have wrapped around you. It's like wearing a blanket around, basically. So, I love the colors. It's so, all the different stitches in there are just so pretty. Looking in the mirror again, sorry. So, I will, I'm sure I'll wear it out and about. Too warm again right now, but this is cotton. I was going to say the recipe, what word am I looking for here? The pattern calls for, I've been baking more lately, so I guess I have recipes on the brain. The pattern called for Yarn and Colors Fabulous yarn, which I don't think I was going to be able to get here very easily, but here's what I used. In my little Sun Jellies pink basket, I used Peaches and Cream yarn. You know, it doesn't say what, like, the company name of that is. Maybe it's just Peaches and Cream. But this is the yarn I used. It's really inexpensive. It's, just got it at Walmart. It's $1.50 at Walmart for this 2.5 ounces, 70.9 gram ball of yarn. Really inexpensive. And it's 100% U.S. cotton, made in Canada. The yarn is made in Canada, but the cotton's made in, or grown in USA, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, so normally I've only ever used this for dishcloths previously, like washcloths, and it's great for that. So I was a little apprehensive to use it for a garment. I'm like, is this going to be too, like, scratchy and bulky? But it's actually pretty soft. I mean, it's not, like, premium yarn soft, but I think it'll soften up with use, too. And I used white for the main color, and then for all my accent colors, oh, let's see, I have the little peggies here. This I just had in stash. I got this on clearance at Walmart. I'm pretty sure it was called Country Pink, but it's just a big cone of the same Peaches and Cream yarn. So, then the other colors I used are bright pink, gold, which I've been affectionately referring to as macaroni and cheese, because it looks just like Kraft macaroni and cheese to me, but in a good way, and sunshine. Isn't that just such a good name? Sunshine. Mint. It's that beautiful color. Any project that can have mint or aqua in is my idea of a good time, and I managed to squeeze a mint and an aqua in this, because this one is aquamarine, which actually it looks just almost like baby blue, but there is like the slightest hint of greenish to it, so that's why it's aquamarine. And then pastel pink. So pretty straightforward. Yeah, so I was really happy with my shawl. I love it so much. It's so pretty. And actually I took notes while I was making it, which I need to send to Frederica. I keep forgetting to. So yeah, gotta do that. So, and then with the leftover yarn, I made, you know what, check that off. Doing this out of order, but that's okay. We'll fly by the seat of our pants. I made this market tote by Emma Escott of Lulu Loves. She has a lovely podcast and Instagram and blog and everything, and she gave this, or offered this pattern for free on her blog, Lulu Loves, and it's a granny stitch market tote. Her pattern called for DK weight yarn, and this Peaches and Cream is a worsted weight yarn, so it's a bit thicker, so my bag ended up a bit bigger, and but I'm really happy with it. I just used up my leftover, all except for the handles. This, from this white up, I had to buy another ball of yarn, and it's actually not the same dye lot, so it differs a little bit, but thankfully it's broken up by the color stripes, so that keeps it from being too noticeable, I think. I don't have the ends weaved in yet, but I actually already used it at a vintage market we went to on Saturday. We go there every year. Last year, actually, a friend and I had a booth at this market. It's like I said, vintage, but also crafts and homemade things and everything. It's just a great market. So that was fun to have a booth last year, but I think I kind of like just going and shopping better because I love shopping. But here's my bag. It turned out quite large, but it was super handy for all my crafty purchases. Actually, I didn't have any crafty purchases this time. Vintage purchases, I guess I should say. Well, I did get a bunch of vintage zippers, so that's kind of a crafty thing. And then I just want to show you, this was my most favorite purchase. It's a doorstop, a cast iron doorstop. It's a cottage. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, the gal had just $8.50 marked on it, and I even asked her if she'd take a little less, because it's that kind of sale where you can, you know, offer less for things. And she said, yeah, I'd take $5, so I got it for $5, which $8.50 actually would have been a pretty good deal too, but that was so nice of her to give it to me for $5. Yeah, I'm really happy with my market tote. Thanks, Emma, for the free pattern. Love it. I want to make a bunch more of them. If I make it again with this same yarn, I'll probably reduce the amount of rows of this white part, because as I was using it and loading heavy things like cast iron doorstops into it, it kept getting longer and longer. I mean, it got really long. So anyway, I'd probably do just a few less, maybe about half as many, because the solid bottom is nice for that, so that things don't poke through as bad as through the granny stitch. But other than that, it's perfect. And I did a quarter less stitches for the straps too. I think it called for 100 and I did 75. Yep. So otherwise they would have been too long too. Yeah, I really like this bag. So nice. And I got lots of compliments on it too. Everyone was like, oh, that's a great bag for this. And they're like, did you make that? I'm like, yep, I made it. So I love being able to say I made things, because it's kind of my thing. So, alrighty. Next, I have, let's see here. Okay, next I'll show you the test crochet I did for Frederica. It is the cotton candy scarf. Look at the pretty colors she used. I love it so much. Hopefully you could see that. Hopefully it wasn't too sharp. But here I made it out of Knit Picks Comfy Sport in Flamingo, which is like one of my favorite colorways. Isn't that so pretty? So this was just, can't remember if this was a whole ball or if I had a partial ball of it. But yep, there's that. So pretty. I do want to actually make this scarf. So, but this pattern is available for purchase in her Etsy shop. Link in show notes. Okay, so then the only other finished object I have is some little strawberries. Some little crocheted strawberries. The pattern is the Strawberry Scissor Keeper by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart. And right now, Sandra is having a Cherry Heart make-along. And so any of her patterns you can choose and join in the make-along. Try to win some prizes and things. But really, I'd been wanting to make this strawberry pattern for a long time anyway. And it costs just like £1, I think. So it was like $1.38 or something at the time. It probably just depends on the currency thingy. I don't know. But, yeah, they're so cute. So I just used some colors I had. Like this one is made of the Flamingo Comfy Fingering, which actually I don't know if they have Comfy Sport anymore, do they? No, it's Shine Sport that they've gotten rid of, I think. I don't know. Anyway, and then the greeny color is either Seafoam or Sagebrush. I think it's Seafoam. So that, and then this one is, I think the color of this was Xenia, but I don't think they make that color anymore. And then the top one is the Shine Sport. All of these are Knit Picks. And Pistachio. I don't think they make that anymore either. Wow, I love that color. So like a pastel one and a bright one, and then this one's kind of like earthy, modern, or, you know, like, I don't know how to describe it. But the bottom color also is a discontinued color. This was, it was Knit Picks Simply Cotton or something like that. They don't have it anymore. Whatever it was just like all cotton in Blossom Heather. And then the top is Cotlin in Celery. So it's cotton and linen. But I love those colors together. So, yep, those I have made for the make-along. Just little things, and everyone I show them to love them, and they want some of them too, so I have to make a bunch of them now for friends and family. So there's that. Okay, next for my work in progress, I have also for the Cherry Heart make-along, I'm making the I Heart Summer Scarf, or I Love Summer Scarf. So let me show you what I'm working on. I've got it in this vintage laundry bag made out of a vintage towel that I got at a estate auction. I love it. It's so nice and big, and it's got the drawstrings. So it makes a great project bag. I kind of want to make some in this style using like vintage linens and things. So let me know what you guys think about that, if you'd be interested in purchasing project bags made out of vintage linens and towels and things like that. Anything I can find to do that with. Okay, so here is the I Love Summer Scarf by Sandra. So it's so cute. It's this delicate lacy white scarf, which I've got the scarf all done, but it needs blocked. And then you do all the little colorful hearts. And put them on all along the edge. So, but anyway, here's the scarf thus far. Well, I'm all tangled up here. But I'm using Knit Picks Comfy Fingering in white. I use a lot of Knit Picks. And it's like not a bright white, it's more of a natural white, I'd say. So, and then for the colored hearts, I am using my little bonbon things that I had sitting on that shelf right there for the longest time, a little pyramid of them that my nephew Jackson always tried to confiscate. And anyway, so I'm making the hearts out of those sweet little hearts. Now these are actually acrylic, and this is cotton, but I don't think that should really make too big of a difference. And these need their ends weaved in. I loved these so much, and I wanted to have a very special project to showcase them in, and I think this project is definitely it. And I loved these little yarns so much, and I was so sad to see them go that I actually bought another pack of them. I got them at a local quilt shop that has yarn but is discontinued their yarn line. I think I told you guys about it before, actually. So I got this 40% off, which was nice. So, not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet, if I'll open it up and stack it back up, or I don't know. We'll see, but I thought I couldn't pass that up for 40% off, and they're just so cute and little, and the best colors, pastels. So, yeah, it is, Mako, I guess. 100% premium acrylic, whatever that means. Yep, so I just love those little things. And I've got, I think, 4 colors done, or at least mostly done. And I think I have 8 colors. Let's see. Okay, because there's 10 of these little minis, but I'm not using the white, because, I mean, that would totally clash anyway. Plus, why would you want white hearts? And I'm not using the gray either. So, yeah, I've just got the 8 colors. So, yep. And it's not even using the whole little bobbin. It's just, that's how much is left after I've made my 11-ish hearts that I need. So, yep, can do something else with it. Maybe something stripey. Especially now that I've got these. You know that saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too? It's like that with yarn. You can't have your yarn and knit it or crochet it too. That's the sad part. So, well, I mean, unless you buy one to keep and one to use, which would be silly, really, if you think about it. It's silly. But, okay. Anyway, I'm excited about that. Can't wait to see how that looks when it's all done. And, yeah, so join the Cherry Heart Make-Along. It's a lot of fun. It's going through the month of June here. So, well, it's almost halfway over. It's about halfway over, I guess, because it started end of May. So, but I can get that done in no time. It's a really nice project to take with me, because I just take my little bag of colors, and I've got the little heart, you know, pattern memorized by now. So, just whip those up, and yeah, it's a nice little take-along project. Fun little fiddly project. I enjoy those kind of things. So here is my other work in progress, is a pair of socks. Oh, poop. I just caught the yarn in the zipper. Not cool. good news. It's just the end of the sock that would just need weaved in. Woven? Weaved? Okay, there we go. It's free. Anyway, I am using Knit Picks Felici in Candy Shop, which I made Annalise's little socks for Christmas out of, but I have enough of this because it was my favorite of the Felici colorways. I have enough of it for a pair of socks for myself. And so, yep, I'm just working them up. But they are at a standstill right now because I started doing just the normal heel flap and gusset that I normally do. And then I was thinking, I kind of want to try a different heel with this, like a afterthought heel or something like that. So I might just rip it back and do something like that instead with like a contrasting color for the heel and toe. Because I've never actually done that. And I think this yarn would be a fun one to try it on. So, yeah, they've been in this state for a little while. Not sure if I want to rip it back. Not sure if I want to keep going. So, but they'll be really cute when they're done. I made the leg a bit longer than I normally do, just so I could get a couple repeats of the stripes. The white stripe is a little tinged pink, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. I'll get over it. Yeah, so just using some little double pointed needles. I had, like I said, most of my needles and hooks are things that were just given to me. These are just some vintagey ones, actually. Diana is the brand. Size 1. Doesn't even say the millimeters because it's kind of old and American. Yeah. So, okay, that's all my works in progress for now. Let's see. Okay, sip of tea. It's almost gone, and it's getting a bit cold, so I'm just going to finish it. Okay. All I have left for you guys today is a little bit of looky what I got. We did some antiquing these past couple weeks, and I found this. As you know, if you've watched this before, I love Beatrix Potter. So I can't resist basically anything Beatrix Potter when I run across it, and it's not like stupid money. So I got this little crewel embroidery kit for a Beatrix Potter scene. Fringe. So I've never done crewel embroidery before. See, it comes with all the wool yarn and everything you need to do it. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try. Something Beatrix Potter, that's definitely worth a shot. So that could be a fun project. Hopefully I'll do that soon, or maybe I'll save it for the winter when I want to do something different. If I have more time on my hands. 'Cause this time of year, with the garden and all the outside activities, I find I don't do as much crafts. Yeah. And I'm not the biggest fan of working with cotton, although all the things I've made here except for the socks were cotton yarn. I do like cotton a lot more this time of year, obviously, just because it's spring/summer. It's still spring, but it feels like summer. So, yeah, anyway, probably get around to that in the winter. And then the only other thing I have to show you are these cute pins I got from Joanne Fabrics. There we go. Aren't they cute? This one says, "Keep your head up, gorgeous." And this one says, "Fabric sale, I'll be right there." Which is super adorable and cute. There we go. Yeah, so I just thought they were so cute. Just little pins to put on stuff. There we go. Yeah, love them. They're kind of heavy, but maybe I'll put them on a bag or something. People are always putting their little enamel pins on bags, and these aren't enamel pins, but they're awful cute, aren't they? So yeah, I think that is all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really enjoy all your comments, so leave me little comments. That's great. It's kind of like getting a letter from a friend. That doesn't happen so often anymore, so comments are the new letter, I guess. But yeah, let's see if I have anything else to tell you. Oh, I'll put in some video of the I may have done it at the beginning, but if not, I'll put it at the end here, of the chicken coop. Dad made me a little window box for it, so got that all painted and attached and planted with some pretty little flowers, so I'll show you a picture of that. The garden's doing well. I've been actually pretty good at keeping on top of the weeds. Kind of proud of myself. I'm usually horrible about that. Horrible. But this year I've been wanting to be out there more, so that's good. Trying to think if I have anything else to say. Oh, well, just have been enjoying some summery things already with the wee rabbits. We had a little camp out. My two 5-year-old nephews had a camp out with Dad outside in the backyard in a tent with campfire and all, and we all had s'mores and hot dogs over the campfire, so that was fun. And Abby and Annalise, my two nieces, they came and had a camp out with us girls inside, so we made like a tent out of, I used one of my vintage sheets and made a tent for us with chairs, kind of like a blanket for it, and Abby actually slept in the tent, but Annalise and I out on the couch, and she took up the whole couch, and I got like about that much room, and she's 3, so yeah, it was good memories, hopefully, though, for the little ones, so, because these days are fleeting, aren't they? So, thankful for the time that the Lord gives us to do those fun things, make good memories. So, yeah. I hope you all are enjoying your start to summer, and I hope you have a great summer. And, well, hopefully I'll talk to you again before the summer's over, though. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already and you want to subscribe, that'd be great. And I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. Keep making. Hey, ladies. Hey, girls. It's wet, wet, wet out, isn't it? Yes. Do you like your new flower box?